Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
As we prepare and remain vigilant amid the coronavirus pandemic, the GUT Credit Union remains committed to serving you and your family in the safest way possible. We have increased the frequency of cleaning and sanitizing all branches and ATMs throughout the day. In an effort to maintain the protocols of social distancing, we encourage you to use the ATMs to conduct simple transactions. For your protection and convenience, our officers are available to conduct business via telephone if needed. As a member, if you are facing financial challenges as a result of the pandemic, please contact us to discuss the range of flexible options available to you. More information can be obtained by calling 440-1354, emailing gutcu@spicile.com, or visiting www.gutcu.com. Together, we can successfully navigate through this time. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news for today, Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. In the headlines, Tobias Clement says he has a democracy to save during first press conference as opposition leader. Farmers, and right after this message.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
Good evening from the GBN. With the details, I am Beverly Telesford. Tobias Clement was presented with his instruments of appointment as opposition leader from Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade on Tuesday. What does it mean for our parliamentary system now and the senators who were appointed before this development? Cherry and Blackman Stephen tells us more.
The appointment of Tobias Clement on Tuesday brings a number of changes for the parliamentary system. With the new National Party winning landslide victory in 2013 and 2018, the senators were appointed. But with Clement taking up his position, there will be dramatic changes. GBN spoke with constitutional lawyer Dr. Francis Alexis, who says the appointment of Clement is healthy for democracy.
The Constitution answers that, Section 27, subsection 2, go all the way down to Clause E. If I paraphrase it, immediately you have somebody being appointed as leader of the opposition. All those who up till then were holding office as senators, members of the Senate of Grenada, their seats automatically become empty. I say automatically because the Governor General will still have to act on the advice of opposition leader to formally have the seats of the sitting senators, those who are sitting senators at the time, vacated.
Dr. Alexis said the Constitution makes provision for an opposition leader, which is geared to bring balance within Parliament, meaning two sides to the debate. However, while he says he welcomes this change to Parliament, he is concerned that Clement comes from the bowels of the new National Party, which governs the state of Grenada.
To what extent is he really going to present an alternative view, although at the same time, precisely because he's coming out of the NNP, arguably he has some idea of the mentality, the thinking inside NNP, and so he would be better able to assist parliamentary democracy development. If you look across the waters in Barbados, almost immediately after the last election, it was out of Prime Minister Motley's party that there emerged the leader of the opposition, Reverend Astley. So that there is nothing new in this. And bottom line is that parliamentary democracy does require that there be a leader of the opposition.
Dr. Alexis says that despite the two failed referendums in Grenada, the parliamentary changes further proves the need for a system that guarantees a genuine leader of the opposition immediately following the holding of a general election. The appointed senators whose seats will now be vacated unless given a second chance by the opposition leader are Kieran James and Ron Redhead, representing the National Democrat. GBN News.
The operational guidelines for farmers and fishermen are now in effect, as the next 3 shopping days have also been given for the plying of trade for fishermen and selling of their produce together with farmers. However, the guidelines bring several restrictions for the farming and fishing community, which according to officials are designed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. This welcome relief, especially for fishermen, was announced on Easter Monday. We get the details in this report.
Over the next 3 days, which are also scheduled shopping days, a percentage of fishermen will be allowed to ply their trade. This, as the operational guidelines for farmers and fisherfolk were announced by Superintendent Vanny Cowan, head of the Community Relations Department. Superintendent Cowan says restrictions remain in effect for fishing trawlers, and only small boats with no more than 2 people will be allowed to fish. A maximum of 12 persons are permitted for seine fishing, and a police officer must be present whenever a net is being pulled in. He also notes that fishermen are not allowed to sell directly and are encouraged to call requesting permission from the police to go out and fish.
Under the approved exemption, fishermen are not permitted to sell the catch directly to the public to prevent the potential for crowding and violation of the physical distance protocol. All sales will be made to licensed vendors who will package the produce in 2, 5, and 10-pound bags for sale to the public.
For the promised farmers market in each parish and on the sister isles, a setup time between 6 and 8 a.m. is allowed.
With regard to farm produce, 6 farmers market will be established on the 3 assigned shopping days this week at the following location: the National Athletic Stadium Car Park, St. George; Victoria Vegetable Market, St. Mark; Guave Vegetable Market, St. John; Natural Works, St. David; Satters Bus Terminus, St. Patrick; Grenville Bus Terminus, St. Andrews; P.T. Martinique Emma's Supermarket. And on the sister island of Carriacou, residents will be served through the MNIB depot and established vendors.
Sanitation regulations are also in effect for the farmers market,
in keeping with the protocol on COVID-19. Farmers wishing to sell their produce at the established markets on the assigned shopping days are required to contact the Ministry of Agriculture on 417-2355 to confirm their participation. The IGPF advises farmers and vendors of the following guidelines. 1. A maximum of 2 persons will be allowed per vending station in keeping with the physical distancing protocol. 2. Mask or other type of face covering must be worn at all times. 3. Frequent hand washing or the use of hand sanitizer is strictly required.
The head of the Community Relations Department adds that no erection of new booths is allowed, while normal vendors and farmers who usually sell at the roadside are permitted to do so. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now for our top story. Newly appointed opposition leader Tobias Clement reiterates that he has a democracy to save. This statement he made in response to questions raised by the media during Tuesday's news conference. Details in this report.
Facing the media for the first time since receiving his new portfolio, Opposition leader Tobias Clement told the media that his action within the New National Party for years vindicate his reasoning for resigning from the party. He said Grenada needs someone to stand up against the present leader.
To challenge the status quo, to challenge leadership. But then when you challenge or you criticize and you become almost public enemy number one, then it means therefore that you will have to, if it just cannot jive together, then you would have to leave, and that is what I have done. I challenge the status quo of the NNP, the leadership of the NNP, that was in terms of our democracy.
Clement said he was not rushed into making his decisions, which he hinges on assisting during the COVID-19 pandemic. He told the media his assessment of government's measures to cushion the impact of COVID-19.
We would have to come up with something that would start alleviating some of the problems, especially our poor and disadvantaged people. My take on it would be I would want to see and I would want to know where these monies go. I mean, accountability for any monies that are given is what I would ask for. Is it enough? In my estimation, maybe not. Will it continue? I think it will have to continue because at this point in time, we do not know how long the pandemic would last. And so we would have to step forward and help a lot of our people who are down and out.
His political identity is yet to be decided on. Clement says he wants it to be all-inclusive.
In my own deliberate judgment, I have spoken to quite a number of people, and quite a number of people have expressed interest. And in my own deliberate judgment, I will again inform the Governor General in due course as to who my choices would be. But as for now, I am not going to release any names as yet.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
We take a break, but still to come, police frustrated over people starting fires, warn of impending arrests. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
No, you can't stop this. We're out to get it with Lucas. Day and night, yeah, we're on this. I know you want this. Come on and taste the energy. Day and night, if you're Lucas alive, come taste the energy.
Good vibes only. Lucasade. Taste the energy.
This is your Grenlec, and our story is one of change and development. We strive to ensure that you have the reliable service you depend on every day, at home, at work, and at play. We understand the importance of electricity in propelling our economy and affording our customers an enhanced, convenient, and comfortable life. Our performance indicators show that Grenlec is one of the best utilities in the Caribbean, but our mission is far from accomplished. We now strive to exceed your expectations. This is our Grenlec, and we are proud to serve you.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Together there's no limit to what we can do.
is a riser. Your financial freedom, your future.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Remember to wash your hands to stop the coronavirus. Finish.
This message is brought to you by Mount Pure Mineral Water, silver medalist in the 2020 Berkeley Springs International Water Tasting Competition.
Hills and Valley Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sonatrogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Courts, bringing value home.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
We all want a home that matches our way of life. But it's not just about building or buying a dream home or purchasing land with the most breathtaking view. It's about finding the bank that would make you feel at home. A Home Easy Loan from Republic is your best choice. It's more than a mortgage, it's peace of mind.
Visit any of our 6 branches. Submit your application forms on our website or talk to us on Facebook. Experience peace of mind today. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to News at 7. The fire department of the Royal Grenada Police Force is bombarded with reports of people not adhering to the no-burn policy. That's according to Superintendent Vanny Corwin, officer in charge of the Community Relations Department of the RGPF. The details in this report.
Officers of the fire department are appealing to the general public to ensure compliance with the rules and regulations that governs the Agricultural Fires Act. Seeking permission is a requirement by law for persons wishing to burn at this time. Since the no-burn policy took effect in February, the fire department has been responding to calls following complaints from neighbors with respiratory ailments of smoke disturbance that is affecting their health. Now faced with the pandemic COVID-19, which exhibits similar symptoms and similarly affects the respiratory system, the RGPF is pleading with the general public to be considerate and cease and desist from doing so. According to Section 147.1 of the Criminal Code, Chapter 72A, Volume 4 of the 2010 Continuous Revised Laws of Grenada, it requires every person who intends to set fire or to cause a fire to be set to give notice to their neighbors. According to Sergeant Adrian Pancho of the Fire Department, fire tenders are finding it difficult to access areas where fires are in most cases deliberately set, as already narrow roadways are occupied with other vehicles. Sergeant Pancho says because of the present lockdown, no arrests have yet been made. However, persons will be charged.
Our major concern at the fire department is because we have everyone at home presently, or most persons at home, and there's a number of persons with respiratory issues. The smoke is affecting a lot of these persons. So besides the fire that we are getting a number of what we term smoke disturbances. So the one point also that we want to bring across, because there's a number of persons home now, what we have also been seeing is a number of reports of persons setting up coal pits within residential areas. And a coal pit it's not a fire, an open flame on the outside, but it would produce smoke for a period of time. The smoke might not be a lot. However, the smoke would settle, and especially during the night, we have a number of persons complaining about suffering from much discomfort due to smoke being caused by coal pits. So we're trying to send out that message also that persons, yes, you're home, you want to be gainfully occupied, but the coal pits in the residential areas is definitely a no.
Persons caught in violation can be fined or imprisoned.
So at present, with the no bond policy, no license are presently being issued by the Ministry of Agriculture. So if persons are clearing land for agricultural purposes and they go ahead and set a fire, that means they wouldn't have a license. They can be charged for setting fire without a license, right? And person being charged under that section brought to court, the fine is $500 or 2 months in prison. Right? And then we have the charge of setting fire without informing neighbors. And if you fail to inform your neighbors, you set a fire, then you can be charged under the criminal code, and that would be chapter 146 and 147. Right? Persons being charged under that section, you can be also charged up to $500 or 2 months in prison.
Superintendent Vanny Cohen reiterates the call for no burning.
In the dry season, and people continue to burn, and I just want to implore on the public that we are in a no burn. We have a no burn policy at this time of the year. You are not to be burning vegetation material or burning in general, and you need to seek permission from the RGPF to light any fire.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank issued a statement on Tuesday urging Caribbean countries to stand in solidarity during the COVID-19 pandemic affecting the region and the rest of the world. Timothy N.J. Antoine, governor of the ECCB, implored people of all levels within the regional community to become unified in the fight against the virus.
The magnitude of this moment presents a compelling call for shared sacrifice and solidarity at all levels: governments, opposition parties, labor unions, business, civil society, and citizens. As Caribbean brothers and sisters, we must stand with each other in firm solidarity as we fight a common enemy, COVID-19.
The Supreme Court Registry has announced the suspension of all jury trials until further notice, in keeping with the Emergency Powers Regulations 2020, designed to reduce the movement of people to prevent the potential spread of the coronavirus. All jurors are therefore advised that you are not required to attend the High Court on the following days: Thursday, April 16th for the junior orientation session, and April 21st for the criminal assizes. The court office shall issue a notice advising of the new date for juror orientation and the resumption of jury trials. The registry also noted that the high courts are not closed, and arrangements have been made for emergency applications to be heard via video and/or telephone conference. Now, in respect to COVID-19, GBN posed the question to our followers: do you believe the easing of the restrictions is the right thing to do now, taking into consideration what was said in the press conference on Monday? Here are some of the views expressed by our followers. One follower said they believe that the 24-hour curfew can be lifted and replaced by a lighter curfew while maintaining the parish boundary restriction. Another said, one thing I'm certain of is that the more days we leave our homes are the more chances of people becoming infected. More infections mean more testing and contact tracing, which means the longer the possibility of the curfew. One person suggested that the curfew should not be lifted until there is a time period of 2 to 3 weeks of no new reported or confirmed cases in all our territories. And one person believes with all that has been put in place, a curfew from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. is manageable. However, keep the border restrictions. Still ahead, drivers can update insurance and licenses during COVID-19 lockdown. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, line, boy, your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&M Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&M Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. When it's time here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. Can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Since the implementation of the mandatory lockdown, some vehicle owners have been put at a disadvantage, not being able to renew their driver's license and pay their license and insurance. During a police press brief on Tuesday, Superintendent Randy Connaught explained the measures that have been taken to accommodate drivers affected by the COVID-19 crisis.
Motor vehicle inspections is one of the areas that had to be suspended during the curfew and emergency regulations period. Superintendent Randy Connaught, head of the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, in a press conference on Tuesday, spoke of the provisions made to assist motor vehicle owners.
What we have since done is to allow for these individuals to continue driving their motor vehicle, albeit it is not yet inspected and the vehicle is not yet licensed for that period. And we have since been in communication with the Accountant General and to ensure that those payments can be made at a subsequent date. But that must be done considering the fact that we have already suspended the period. It gives us now the opportunity to extend that period to afford for the inspection of those vehicles. Once this present situation is lifted, we'll extend the period to allow for those vehicles to be inspected and the necessary payments can be made at the Treasury or District Revenue offices.
Superintendent Connaught says discussions are being held with insurance companies to ensure that drivers are covered in case of an accident.
And as we speak today, there is some arrangement with the insurance companies where the clients can call in, because we have to look at the risk involved. And that is a principal factor here, the risk involved should in case someone, a vehicle insurance is expired and he or she gets into an accident. So we had those discussions with the insurance companies, and they're open and they are accessible to their clients who can call in. An arrangement can be made for an extension of the insurance, but that is a one-on-one between the client and the particular insurance company, because insurance company to company, the arrangements might be slightly different, and they will be able to speak and give a little more clarity on that particular issue. But that
the officer further explained that insurance certificates will be obtained electronically.
The insurance certificates. Now, once it is agreed upon by the insurance company to issue a renewal of certificate, it will be done electronically. And our officers are mandated or directed by Commissioner to accept those electronic copies which persons would have on their devices, cell phones, iPads, whatever. And we are to recognize that, but this would be cross-referenced with the list of information that is provided by the insurance companies. So I just want to make that point clear. You, upon receipt of your insurance renewal, would only be able to receive it electronically, and the police will recognize the electronic copy. So I just want...
For persons whose driver's license expired during the lockdown, district revenue offices will facilitate payment during this week.
And what is in place now is to ensure that the district revenue office is open to facilitate the payments. And there is a provision here that on Thursday and Friday of this week from 9 a.m. to midday, the revenue offices would be open to facilitate the payment of driver's license only. With this in mind, persons who have been issued with an official receipt would normally have to carry it from henceforth along with the expired driver's license. So we would call that receipt a counterpart to your driver's license, because it is impossible at this stage to have your driver's license renewed and a new ID reprinted. So you would use the receipt along with your expired driver's license, and that is how you would be able to access, be legitimized, so to speak, on the road.
Christelina John, GBN News.
The Ministry of Labour says Grenadians who are farm workers in Canada stand ready to take up duties as soon as travel is permitted. 28 Grenadian workers are already in Canada, and another 100 are waiting to travel to provide seasonal labour on farms. The closure of Grenada's borders as part of efforts to prevent the spread of COVID-19 has delayed their departure. A similar scenario exists in other countries, which provide from the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Liaison Service in Toronto, Canada, noted that regional and international commercial travel suspensions in the Caribbean continue to pose serious challenges for travel to Canada, despite the recent approval of travel exemptions to Canada for seasonal agriculture workers. The ECLS further stated that all workers will be required to self-isolate for 14 days upon arrival in Canada. Arrangements are being made by Canadian authorities in collaboration with employers to facilitate workers' self-isolation. Stay tuned now for this evening's GBN ISAW, compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's ISAW features video footage of a man pushing around an upgraded wooden roller, equipped with a steering wheel, music system, and cup holder. Rollers were popular many years ago in many villages across the country and were used by children as toys. You can continue to send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms. Stay with us. The weather and sports is up next.
Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
And so it begins. A journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Esplanade Mall St. George's, Maurice Bishop International Airport, and Sandals Grenada Resort. Telephone number 230-1023.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force.
At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center, the festive season is over. So let's start 2020 looking and feeling like a boss with our many body cleansing options. Purchase detox products as low as $50. Purchase detox combo packs as low as $100. Receive 10% off on all in-house colonic irrigation treatments. Take control of your health now. Don't delay. Call us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. We are located in Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. These offers are valid from January to March or while stocks last. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic Detox Center. Detox your way to health.
Opio.com. Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight generally fair at first, increasing in cloudiness overnight with few light brief showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. Tides high at 10 p.m., low at 3:15 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow 5:56. Weather tomorrow, Thursday, April 16th. Generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few light brief showers possible. Weather for Friday, April 17th. Partly cloudy morning with few light brief showers possible, becoming generally fair during the afternoon. And weather for Saturday, April 18th, generally fair, becoming partly cloudy during the night with few light brief showers possible. Now for your sports news. Good evening, sporting fans. World Javelin champion Anderson Peters says it is through his dedicated study and research of world-renowned javelin throwers he has continued to grow as an athlete. Together with his coach, Paul Phillip, who is an IAAF Level 5 combined events coach, Anderson says he has been researching German-based javelins, throwers who rated at the top of the world.
I would say that because I could almost name almost all Leslie's throwing video on YouTube. I think I've seen all of them. I've seen all the World Championship videos, all the Olympic throws videos. I could hear it, hear the music or the talking from a video and tell you what year it was from. So I studied it that much.
Grenada's javelin record holder says reflecting on himself is also part of how he has sought to improve and throw further.
Always, I always try to go back and look at my videos. Even on the flight coming to here, I was wondering what could I have done better at the World Championship to get a meter more, half a meter more. I'm still like in the off season. I'm not practicing or anything yet, but I'm starting to think about what I could do better next year to get further throws.
Looking to the Olympic Games, which is now scheduled for 2021, Anderson says he will be going in as a challenger rather than the world champion while bringing his best on that day.
Going in as a world champion in the Olympics is different from just going in without any title. Like when you're the world champion, you have like a target on your back. And at the world championship, I'm pretty sure the older guys didn't like the way that I was the youngest guy in the field and I was able to become the world champion. Like, if somebody did that to me, I would be upset too. But being the world champion means that you have a target on your back. Being the Olympic champion means that you have a target on your back because somebody else always wants that title. So I think you go in there, there's always high expectation, but you can't let the expectation get to you.
Football's world governing body, FIFA, is against the appointment of a single arbitrator to hear the dispute between it and the ousted executive of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. In its appeal last week to the Court of Arbitration for Sport to set aside FIFA's decision to appoint a normalization committee to oversee the daily operations of the TTFA, the lawyers for ousted TTFA executive had proposed that Mark Hovell, a solicitor from Manchester, England, be the sole arbitrator in their case against football's world governing body FIFA. Hovell is a highly experienced sports lawyer and insolvency practitioner who specializes in regulatory, governance, commercial and financial matters across all sports, both in the UK and across the world. However, FIFA said they favor a 3-member panel to hear the dispute. It will now fall to the president of the CAS Appeals Arbitration Division or her deputy to decide how many arbitrators will hear the dispute. The Wisden Almanac, an annually published world-renowned cricket reference book, better known in some circles as the Bible of Cricket, has named West Indian Andre Russell the leading T20 cricketer of 2019. It is a timely announcement, with cricket events currently on a pause worldwide and players and fans alike craving any good news and quality cricketing content. Russell expressed that he is deeply honored by the accolade and will use this as motivation while preparing for the upcoming T20 World Cup, which is currently scheduled for Australia in November of this year. Highlighted by his strike rate of 182, Russell was exceptional in 2019 in the game's shortest format, amassing a total of 1,080 runs in 46 matches, hitting a spectacular 101 sixes. Russell believes he is in the form of his life, but he's also aware of the work it will take to maintain this purple patch throughout the year and ready to take on that challenge. That's it for your sports news. Around the Globe is next. Now for the probe around the globe. We begin with news out of Barbados, where a 52-year-old Barbadian man who passed away on Tuesday became the 5th person to die as a 48-year-old man who came into contact with a known case. Meanwhile, the number of recovered patients rose to 15 after 2 more people left isolation after testing negative. 53 others remain in isolation. The number of tests carried out by the Public Health Laboratory since February 11th is 864. The Caribbean tourism industry has a proven track record of bouncing back from crisis, often better and stronger. A message which resonated throughout the first in a series of online training programs being conducted by the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, aimed at equipping the industry with coping skills against immediate challenges while preparing for the eventual return of tourists to the world's leading tropical playground. The first phase of the program, dubbed CHTA Live, the Resilience Series, was held on Friday, April 3rd, providing information to assist tourism stakeholders as they develop endurance strategies in response to the coronavirus. This week, the series session focused on debt restructuring, a topic of great interest to hotels and tourism-related businesses. Over in Guyana, chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice Claudette Singh, has written the Secretary General at CARICOM, Ambassador Erwin Larocque, to request the presence of and ascertain CARICOM's willingness to have its high-level team return to Guyana during the execution of a national recount of all the votes cast at the March 2nd, 2020 elections. Commission Justice Singh informed the 6 commissioners that a letter was dispatched to the CARICOM Secretariat. Official communication was made with CARICOM in light of the April 6 decision of the Elections Commission that it would be prudent to have the Caribbean community involved in the planned national recount, not to supervise as previously approved, but to validate the process. Outside of GCOM's head office, Commissioner Vincent Alexander disclosed that GCOM has officially communicated with CARICOM. Lastly, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he had instructed his administration to suspend funding to the World Health Organization over its handling of the coronavirus pandemic in a move that drew immediate condemnation. Trump, at a White House news conference, claimed the WHO has failed in its basic duty and it must be held accountable. The U.S. is the global health body's largest single funder and gave it more than $400 million in 2019. A decision on whether the U.S. resumes funding will be made after the review, which Mr. Trump said would last 60 to 90 days. That's it for the probe around the globe. When we return, a recap of the headlines. Now for a recap of the headlines. Tobias Clements says he has a democracy to save during first press conference as opposition leader. Farmers and fisherfolk allowed to sell produce under strict guidelines. In sports, FIFA against the appointment of a single arbitrator in Trinidad and Tobago Football Association dispute. And in around the globe, Barbados records 5th coronavirus death. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford, and that's news for today.